One of the best things about this hobby that we're in, of course, the Pokemon hobby, I know is not really super easy for you to figure out what we're into, but one of the best things about this hobby floating around here is just all the different opinions about stuff going on, especially the Pokemon TCG hobby itself. A lot of people have different opinions about cards. A lot of people have different opinions about sets, what should be going where, what people should be buying, if people should be buying or selling at all, a ton of different stuff. All that's very good and very healthy for the hobby. I like seeing it. I like that people are able to express their opinions and have people who agree and disagree with a whole bunch of different takes. I am very hard-headed. I have a lot of opinions myself. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I stand by what I say 99.9% of the fucking time because I truly do believe what I say. I truly do like what I like. And just because someone disagrees with me and has some other kind of opinion about a card or a set or anything like that, that does not mean I dislike the person. That does not mean I do anything. I have a very specific way of talking. I have a very specific way of presenting myself. I'm not the easiest person in the world to get along with. I completely understand that. But at the same time, I do stand by what I say, and I don't really back down from it unless there's a very, very, very solid reason for why it needs to be backed down from in the first place. However, one of the conversations, it's not really a big deal. I'm talking about stuff. One of the things that I notice a lot of people talking about lately that I think is just a little bit funny considering the timing is what card is going to be the best card from the Scarlet and Violet era in terms of value, artwork, desirability, you name it. People are already kind of discussing what they think about that stuff. To the point where, of course, r/Poke investing is getting involved. Yeah, no, I might as well just change this fucking channel to just talking about r/fucking Poke investing. That's all I do anymore. It's just so much fun. I'm sorry. I like looking at this stuff. So, we got a r/Poke investing post right here. Splatoon Greninja versus the Sunzard. Who's coming out on top? Now, this is going to be the 151 Charizard versus the Twilight Masquerade Greninja. We're going to speak in the English versions of cards right this second. I know a lot of people don't really care too much about Japanese cards. This is going to fluctuate a whole hell of a lot. If you collect Japanese, they kind of value cards a little bit differently. But we're going to be looking at this stuff real quick. So the person, right up there, we got Rel Peter. Thank you once again for this post. Greninja was on top for a while. In the past week, Charizard reclaimed its crown. Now, as of tonight, it's basically a toss-up between both PSA 10s going for 550 or 700. So we're talking about specifically the PSA 10 values for these cards. The raw values and the PSA 10 values, they're extremely subject to change. Singles in the market of the Pokemon space are very, very volatile. Literally, someone can step in and throw an opinion out, and it can change the entire pricing of the card. Literally, a lot can happen where this stuff can change overnight. Product here or there, it's a little bit harder for product to actually experience like crazy growth or crazy loss. It really isn't something that happens without a very, very, very good reason. But singles are all over the place. Some people say the Sunzard has no neck and it's stubby. That is me. 100% this person watches my videos. I appreciate you watching, by the way. That is me. I still stand by that opinion. Look at that dude. Look, you have an up-close picture of him and everything. That dude literally is very stumpy, no neck, looks literally just like me. If I got fucking zibbity zabbity turned into a Zardy right there, that would be me right there, and everyone would have their own opinions about that too. It's just goofy. It's a very goofy looking art compared to some of the other Charizards that have come out in the Scarlet and Violet era. Hell, the Sword and Shield era. Hell, the Sun and Moon era. Hell, the X and Y era. There is so many other different Charizard arts. I get it. If you like the card, let me drop the whole fucking, opossum thing for a second. If you truly like a card, I got nothing against you. I don't really despise any of the cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. I do have that Charizard in my personal collection. It's not the worst card ever. It's just it is very easy to get reactions out of people who very much like 151, and I very much like getting reactions out of people. I genuinely do. I think it's hilarious, and they are the easiest motherfuckers to get all riled up about the card. Do I despise the card? No. Do I still think it looks goofy? Absolutely, and I'm not taking that back whatsoever. Feel free to do what you want. Keep leaving all the 151 is the best set ever that fucking walked this plane. I don't personally care. I'm not changing my opinion over it, okay? But you're welcome to have that. I don't despise you if you have that opinion, nor do I despise the set 151. There you go. Fucking mask off. Voila. There, I had to take the whole thing off. Some people say the Splatoon Greninja is too colorful and they dislike the crown. That's going to be something that kind of matters less and less outside of the Scarlet and Violet era. It is very new. These gimmicks are never something that people 100% accept coming out of the gate. Now, Mega Evolutions, the best thing that's ever happened to Pokemon, that had a lot of contention when that stuff came out. A lot of people thought it was really stupid and made a lot of comparisons to Pokemon turning into Digimon whenever those were announced. 100%. That's real. If you weren't here, I completely understand you not getting that, but anybody who was here can tell you a lot of people had that exact same. They were like, man, your Mega Pokemon, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. What are they going to do next? Make them into like Power Rangers? Are they going to start morphing and stuff like that? That's legit conversations people had about the best gimmick that has ever existed in Pokemon. True story. That happened. So ultimately, this guy's asking which one's going to be on top of the PSA toss-up for the actual value of the card, the desirability for it. It really is one of those things where it could go either way. I'm proposing a whole nother avenue of discussion for that. So we have a whole nother year and a whole nother set this year of Scarlet and Violet cards coming out. We are still smack dab in the middle of year 2. We have not experienced everything that Scarlet and Violet has to offer. And I think having these conversations, it's fine, but you're basically having an incomplete conversation. Really, I hold a lot more creed to the actual conversations happening about Sword and Shield now that it's completely, done with. We have every single card we're ever going to get out of the Sword and Shield era, and people talking about which one of those cards are going to be the top cards that happen. Once again, singles are extremely volatile, but at least it's all wrapped up. It's got a nice little bow on it, and it makes sense to discuss every single card that's come out in the Sword and Shield era and kind of figure out which one of those is going to be the best card, have the best value, and be the most desirable card, right? It makes more sense than that. We don't even know what's coming out next year. And think about it, the Sword and Shield era, we didn't even get some of the best cards until year 3. That Giratina, that Lugia, hell, even that Charizard from Brilliant Stars, that came out in fucking year 3, baby. A bunch of stuff. We have 2 special sets guaranteed that are going to come out in Pokemon. We don't even know what the hell is going to happen with that. There could be some crazy stuff happening with those sets and no one even knows. It's just very goofy to have discussions about which one's going to be king, which one's going to take its throne. It might not be that Charizard further on down the line. Hell, it could easily be one of the cards that are coming out in a future set. I mean, we do have confirmed terrestrialized evolutions, and I don't care what anybody says. If the card is valuable, if people are chasing after a specific terrestrialized evolution, it doesn't matter what people have to say about that. People will drop their opinions like fucking yesterday's trash, and they will chase that card. They will be like, I like these cards all along. People's opinions here, when it comes to cards, can very easily be bought by the value of the card. That is something that has never changed here. As long as the card has value to it, people will chase it and people will want to pull it, even if they don't like the card absolutely whatsoever. They'll figure out something else to do with it. They'll sell it. They'll use it for some other stuff for their collection or anything. But people will chase that card if it is valuable. Rest assured, no one cares about that stuff. So conversations like this can exist. I'm not saying they can't. I just always find them a little goofy whenever the entire era is not complete. We have a whole nother year, and I'm telling you, I really do think year 3 of Scarlet and Violet is going to be something stupidly crazy. It always fucking ups the ante. Pokemon is continuously elevating their art levels. They're elevating the cards, my expectations. So many good sets have come out lately. So many great cards have come out. I haven't really been disappointed with too much of anything Pokemon has come out with. I do think Shrouded Fable was a little weird. I think it was a little strange how they did that set. It definitely could have fit into a mainline set and maybe another special sets that have come out. But I mean, like, it's not anything that's like bad. It's not the worst thing Pokemon has ever done by any stretch. We have a lot of stuff coming out. We have probably 3 special sets that are still supposed to come out in Scarlet and Violet, as well as 5 main sets that have still yet to actually release. And I think Surging Sparks, I don't know, it's going to be like the best set. I think people are kind of blowing a little bit of smoke up it, but I do think it's going to be a solid set. People are going to like a lot of the cards in it are already shaping up to look really good. Supercharged Breaker comes out like a little bit later in this month. I think it was like a week. So we'll have a little bit more of a taste of what that's going to look like when people are coming out. I'm super excited for that. So many good cards. That Milotic, I swear to God, that's going to be the chase card for this set. Jasmine, if she gets an SAR, obviously I got to chase that too. That's just going to be something that has to happen. These conversations are not bad. It's nothing like too crazy. I'm not here to fucking ring the drama bell or anything today. I just thought it was funny. People talking about stuff. I'm glad that you watched the videos about the whole Stubbies art. I still do have that opinion. But if you do like the card, you do like the 151 stuff, I don't hate you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Truly, the art in the set's not that bad. I just have my preferences of which arts I like. I always like Pokemon cards. I'll never fucking stick my nose up whenever it comes to opening anything, even if it is just gross, disgusting 151 TCG set. Like, I'll still open it. I'll still have fun. It's still Pokemon cards, okay? That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. There's always discussions that can be had. I just think we should wait. You never know. Maybe them year 3 cards are going to have like some super fudgy stuff. Maybe they're going to bring back the super Omega Pokemon or something. Maybe there'll be some kind of new gimmick that we don't even know about. There'll be some crazy shit going on.